one for you now. Heading up to Worcester, Massachusetts for Beyond Wrestling Uncharted Territory. In the place to be on 395, heading past Norwich. Hey, Josh, how you doing? We should have picked you up. Got DJ RJ with me. Good old Rye, as you can see, hanging with me. We're doing this a little differently now. So we're starting to figure out some technology. So we got some video, and we'll get some audio for the podcast. So check us both on the YouTube channel at DDS Squad on the YouTube channel, or just DDS Squad, I think, on the YouTube channel. And like, subscribe, and watch this video, and have a great old time. Of course, listen to us on the pod at DDS Squad Pod on Twitter, and of course on Podbean, DDS Squad Pod, iTunes, Google Play Store, anywhere you get your favorite podcast, you can find us there. So right now what we're going to do is we're going to do something a little different than what we usually do here when we go up to Beyond Wrestling. We're going to talk, since this is such a great week of wrestling, and I'm sure everybody's listened to the podcast that we had previewing everything coming up, the Baskin Robbins of professional wrestling era, easy for me to say. The Baskin Robbins era of professional wrestling has begun, and we're going to my favorite flavor. I can't speak for Ryan, but my favorite flavor, the Rocky Road to Pro Wrestling, Beyond Wrestling. But we want to talk about AEW from last night and NXT. If you caught those two shows, the premiere on TNT of AEW Dynamite. I know I posted a picture earlier. I had 3 screens going. I had on the little screen on the computer desk, we had the NXT show going. On my laptop, I had the NXT watch along going, and on the big screen we had AEW Dynamite. People might say, well, why the hell were you watching the watch along? Well, one reason only. Can you guess? Do you know?
I know.
Stokely Hathaway. Big Stoke. Big Stoke. That was the only reason to watch that. I'm sorry, Malcolm Bivens. That was the only reason I watched it. And when he actually came on, I ran over and I turned the volume up because I couldn't miss it. I had to hear what he had to say. And Conrad started playing the bingo game that he put out there.
Nice.
Yeah, good stuff. So, what'd you think of last night's extravaganza?
So I took a very small page out of your book, or I took your book and I got the paperback. And I had AEW on my TV, and I had NXT on my laptop in front of me, and I did not have the ride along going. There was an awful lot of excitement at 8 o'clock, and through the first half hour to 45 minutes, my ADD was in a very happy place.
No, it was tough. Mine was yelling at me.
It was just I could not pay enough attention to NXT because AEW was my flavor of choice. Last night. And so
mint chocolate chip of pro wrestling last night.
I definitely gravitated towards AEW. I know. When we talked earlier, we were discussing what we were excited about, and I really talked up that NXT show.
Yeah.
And then they decided to throw the championship match as the opener, and that was kind of like, all right, well, I'm gonna really try to pay attention to Riddle and Adam Cole.
Yeah.
But after that, I was kind of like, well, I know. I don't know. I thought that would have been the main.
Yeah, and it probably should have. But I know, I get what they were doing there. They were trying to grab an audience and try to divert people from watching AEW to open the show.
Well, you would think they would have maybe, I don't know, brought out Stone Cold then.
Well, no,
or The Rock.
That's what they do for the mainstream wrestling. This isn't mainstream wrestling yet.
No, instead they brought back Finn Balor, right?
Oh, okay. You went there. So
yeah, so
all right.
I'm obviously staying with AEW.
Yeah. All right. So the Riddle match, the Riddle and Adam Cole match was probably the best match of the night between both shows. And to me, it was like, and I kept saying to Conrad, TV1, TV2, but actually I was fucked up. Instead of going left to right like you would read a book, I went with the big TV as TV1 and little TV as TV2. So every time I said TV2, he thought I meant the big TV, and it was very confusing.
I would always call TV1 the bigger TV.
See, thank you.
Yes. I think you did
but
the right
Sean
thing.
was watching with us too, and Sean's like, that should be TV1. And Conrad's like, yeah, that should be TV1. And I'm like, fuck you, my house, my rules, that's TV1.
I agree.
Ugh. Anyway,
I agree.
I digress. Great match. Fucking great match, right, Sully?
Did you ground Sean?
No.
I would have grounded him.
No.
I can ground him.
The kid's dope.
He is kind of dope. Okay, yeah, Sully.
That match was a Sully. That was fucking great. A lot of falsies. The finish with the cast, using the cast as a weapon, setting it up for Riddle to say, hey, I wasn't beat fairly. You know, he used that as an advantage, you know, so there could be another match coming down the line some point, somewhere, sometime. But then the match was over, and Finn Balor, huh?
Yeah, Finn Balor, which I thought initially that was kind of cool to see him, but then it was like you stop for a second and you realize what that means.
Did you think when he first initially came out, it was just like, oh, okay, we get this every now and then, a main level guy or a I don't know what to call the main cards, main shows now, because now they're all on the same plane, right? They're all nationally televised. They're all supposed to be main brands.
Well, you can still
main roster. Let's say when it was the main roster, it was okay. These guys they would pop in every now and then, and Finn especially being a huge star with NXT, the longest reigning NXT champion of all time. Him popping in, you just figured, he's popping in. But then when he said, Finn Balor is NXT, it's like, oh, so you're moving him. So at first, I felt like it was a demotion. But then as the night went on and I kind of talked about it with Khan, I thought about it differently. And I'm like, okay, I kind of get why they're doing it. I don't like that they did it, but I kind of get why they did it. And it's like, now they want to say, oh, if you liked Finn on Raw, you need to watch him on NXT. And they're trying to get more eyeballs onto NXT. And justifiably, when you see what the ratings did last night.
Well, and that's all fine and good, but you've had enough talent to fill 2 hours. We were asking for NXT to add an hour for probably 2 years now.
Yep.
And then now you're going to bring somebody back.
It's taking somebody else's spot.
To take somebody else's spot. And we're back!
I don't even know if they'll notice that we were gone.
I don't know. Are we starting over?
No, we're not starting over. We're just picking up because I can piece them together. So what happened was my father called, and he's probably having internet issues. But my father called, and it cut us off. So we were talking about Finn Balor and taking somebody's spot, and they have plenty of wrestlers. So go ahead, Ryan.
That was it.
Oh, okay.
Wait. Yeah, that's all I have.
Okay. So, I'm not going to... This isn't really to break down both shows. This is more of an opinion type thing of what we thought and, how it went. AEW is going to be my jam on Wednesday nights. So you got the two shows side by side, right? And you're watching the two of them. You see the crowd size is one of the first things you notice, right? It's like NXT being filmed at Full Sail, which is awesome, and it keeps that underground feel, that smaller, intimate, I won't say smaller, the intimate feel, with only having, I think, like 400 or 500 people there. But then when you go over to AEW and you watch them pan the crowd and you see 14,000 people, it just feels bigger than NXT. And I hope that they don't have some gut reaction to the ratings and everything that came out from that, just to say, oh, we need to take NXT on the road now.
It was just in my head when you were saying that, like, how long is it going to be before they do that? Because right now they're not going to do that, but But they kind of just like what they did with the takeovers and everything else. Like they're gonna keep it in house in Full Sail until until they're ready to let that birdie fly.
Well, I think by keeping it in Full Sail, they get I think it was $10 million from USA to run NXT on Wednesdays. You're keeping production costs down because you're going to run it Full Sail anyway. So the only thing that costs more is the live show, and if that cost is on them or USA, that I don't know. I don't know the business side of that, but the taking the show on the road is going to cost you money. You got to book these venues. That's where the real Wednesday Night War starts, because it's not just a ratings war at that point. It's more of who can get into what building, who's going to fuck over what company to get into a building, who's going to block a company from being in a building, because we know WWE does that. They did that shit with ECW. The ECW was supposed to run in Connecticut, and somehow the fire marshal shut them down back in the day. I don't know if people remember that story or not, but there was something fishy there with Vince and that, and Vince tried to shut down Ring of Honor and New Japan from running the Garden at WrestleMania weekend this year. So all these things, will tie in with this Wednesday Night War. It's just a matter of time before it happens.
I was just talking about WWE's shutting buildings down. And remember when we went to go to NXT at URI?
Yeah.
The first time?
Yeah.
And they shut Drew down from selling sandwiches outside the Ryan Center.
No, he was fine selling outside the Ryan Center. You're thinking of the Ring of Honor show that was in Warwick, and they were trying to sell stuff out there, and they kicked them out of that show.
No, it was at the Ryan Center, wasn't it?
No, because that's where you were going to get your Joe's Gonna Grill You shirt.
Right, and then they were gone because they weren't able to stay there.
But they were selling... No, because I think they were at the show, because... we can ask Drew. But I know they had to leave. They got kicked out of the Ring of Honor show in West Warwick. I know that.
Okay.
Because that's when we pulled up and we saw the food truck leaving. And we're like, where's he going?
I thought they... Well, and then they couldn't show up to the other one anyway. Like the next time.
But the first time they were there. And I don't know if the second time they weren't allowed to come.
Yeah, alright. My bad. Never mind.
Okay. But...
That was fun.
Sorry.
Fun with memory loss.
Hey, it happens when you get old. What was your moment on AEW? What really hooked you? What was the thing that really grabbed you?
MJF grabbing the mic was pretty cool.
Love MJF.
You know what really grabbed me about AEW?
What's that?
The text message I got about 7:45 from my father reminding me that AEW was on TNT.
That's fucking awesome.
And my nephew watches WWE, and he doesn't have the network. And my dad watches with my nephew, who's like 14.
Yep.
And he, I guess, convinced my dad that they were going to watch NXT, because they probably knew more of the last couple of weeks and everything like that.
Yeah.
So they watched NXT. But I think my dad recorded it. I told him to make sure he watched it, because it was really... AEW, the show was really good. But, so that was kind of one of my favorites. But honestly, at the end where, are we... maybe I'm reading too much into it, but is it faction? Are we going to do something here?
Okay, so...
maybe they're going to be a team for Survivor Series.
So, I watched the media scrum with TK, Tony Khan, after the show last night. I watched that today. After some of these shows, he gets together with some of the websites, the dirt sheets, the media for pro wrestling, and he'll answer their questions. And he let it slip that they were a faction. So that's one thing that I love in wrestling. I love factions. I've loved the Horsemen. I loved. You had the era. The Attitude Era had tons of factions. Los Boricuas, Nation of Domination. What was the biker ones? There's just so many of D-Generation X. There were so many factions back in the day that I love factions. The Four Horsemen,
NWO.
The NWO just is big. They just got, so we just, the NWO thing was just like this big thing that just kind of just kept expanding and expanding and expanding before it was too big. But yeah, so it sounds like, and I think the Elite would be a faction. They came out to the same music together, Kenny and the Young Bucks. They came out to being the Elite music, so you could consider them a faction. So now that we got Ortiz, Santana, Sammy Guevara, Jake Hager, and Chris Jericho, I wonder what the name of this group will be called. I guess we got to tune in next week to find out. But that was a cool, that grabbed me too. I really like that. That was a great way to go off the air, I think.
Yeah.
That beat down the whole, and then the Moxley run in with Kenny, that was good too. I think the show was just, it seemed seamless, like it flowed very well. It just is like, and I love the fact that nothing's really scripted. They just have a run sheet and they just go by what, they try to keep, if they're going to do a talking segment, they try to keep it out by the ring. You had the interview with SCU, the run in between SCU and Lucha Bros up at the top of the ramp with Tony Schiavone doing an interview, which I freaking loved because it felt like Mean Gene doing an interview back in WCW. A lot of the show felt like a continuation of WCW. And I mean in the prime of WCW. I don't mean the death of WCW. I mean the stuff that WCW did right.
So one thing you mentioned about having stuff out in the ring, I wonder if there's feedback there from the fans that when you go to a wrestling show and there's all this stuff in the background that you don't see. Because sometimes when we've gone to see SmackDown, sometimes there's stuff that happens in the back and like you don't even hear it, you don't hear the interviews or whatever, and you don't really know what's going on, and then all of a sudden they come back.
Right.
So I wonder if that plays into the idea of let's just do this stuff out in the open, so that way the people that are here can actually see what's going on too. The
other thing that I love,
and it helps, I think, continuity too.
Yeah, you're right. It does. The other thing that I loved was the picture-in-picture during commercial breaks. During the matches, they went, instead of going to a full commercial and missing any of the action, they went ahead and they split it for you. You had a big box and a small box, and I think I love that. Hopefully, they do more of that. I think that was great.
Yeah, they also point to the fact that it's live.
Yes.
Like, it's still live.
Yeah.
We're giving you this action. There was, to be completely honest, and maybe I was just too focused and too hyped up, and maybe I'm conditioned to watching Uncharted Territory and seeing 2 hours of straight action. But, I felt like there were almost too many commercial breaks, because there were times where it seemed like they would go to commercial break, the break in the matches, and they had the small picture like you said, but then the match would end in a minute after that, and then they went to a commercial break after. They did that once or twice, and I was kind of like, wow, that was.
I didn't pick up on that.
There's a lot of action. There's a lot of commercial action, but I mean, I get it. You got to pay the bills.
I think in comparison, the USA was running limited interruptions. So maybe that's why it seemed like a lot of commercials, because over here on NXT, you didn't have a whole lot of commercials.
Oh, I don't think I told you. I shut my laptop off at 9 o'clock.
Oh, you gave up?
Yeah, I was done with NXT at 9 o'clock. I was like,
fair.
I'm focused on AEW.
I love that.
So this is going to be what I watch. And so I missed, the last hour.
I love that.
Of NXT, but I was okay with it.
So the ending ran over, and Ciampa came back. So that's how they went off the air there.
That's cool. They went over?
They went over. Ciampa came back, and he went after Goldie. Well, he didn't go after Goldie, but he definitely came out to Adam Cole and was staring down Goldie. He wants Goldie back. He's obsessed with that belt. He wants his belt back.
So you got him. You got Finn Balor.
Yeah.
I did see, just before I turned it off, Johnny Gargano's back in NXT.
Yeah. Well, I don't think those guys ever really left.
Ciampa.
Those guys.
Finn.
there's a lot of talent in NXT, and 2 hours. You're not.
You know what, dude? Move NXT to Mondays. Give us 3 hours of NXT on Mondays, and play your games with your Raw and your SmackDown 2 hours on Wednesday and Friday.
Okay.
Thanks.
I don't hate that.
Len said okay.
I don't hate that.
It's over.
So
there, I fixed it.
So
you're welcome, everybody.
So, wow, it's really coming down now. Hopefully, this doesn't really interrupt with the sound of the video.
Hopefully, people don't fall asleep because this is some calming shit right now.
Yeah. Why don't we go over the preview of the Beyond show that we're heading up to, and talk about that a little bit, and then wrap this thing up so that I can call my father back and see what he needed, and we can stop at Dunkin' Donuts and grab ourselves some coffees here, because like you said, the rain will put you to sleep.
Sounds like a plan.
So, Uncharted Territory Season 2. Let me put my radio voice on. And welcome, Uncharted Territory Season 2. DDS Squad heading to Worcester, Massachusetts. We're going to have a great time tonight, and hopefully you're going to watch along right there on IWTV.live. Use the promo code Thursdays to get 20 days free and check out what we're all up to there in Worcester, Massachusetts with Beyond Wrestling and Independent Wrestling.tv. Right, what do we got for matches tonight?
For the Discovery Gauntlet, we have
can't keep that up.
Red Death Daniel Garcia versus Matt Makowski.
I wanted to do some research on Makowski. Didn't get a chance to, because there's so much fucking wrestling this week and every week now that I didn't really get a chance to. I'm really looking forward to that one.
Like, everything is so friggin' hot. Jay Freddy versus Brandon Thurston, the third installment of this match.
That's the rubber match, right? They're tied 1-1?
Yes.
The first two matches are really good, so highly anticipate another banger out of these two.
Remember when Mark Sterling stole Magnum?
Yes.
Solo Darling gets her revenge tonight versus Mark Sterling with what did I call him? Sark. Stupid Alex Reynolds Keaton. Sark. Yep.
Yeah, I really didn't know Smart Mark was actually going to wrestle. I thought he was just going to be the manager here. Really cool to see him. And if you want to see more of him, you can catch him out on Zack Ryder's Wrestling Figures podcast and vlogs over there on YouTube. And you can scratch that itch for the wrestling figures, because I checked that show out, and it's pretty good. So that's my recommendation. Check out Zach or Matt Cardona and Brian Myers and those guys over there.
Yeah, do that. Chris Dickinson versus Wheeler Yuta, who asked for him.
He asked for this match.
He asked to die.
Yeah, so the up and coming star of Beyond Wrestling versus the backbone of Beyond Wrestling. Really, really anticipating this one. This is gonna be a good night, man. This is super season premiere tonight.
Thomas Santel in a countout against Orange Cassidy, trying to make it to the White Eagle.
So
for the main event.
Yeah, Orange's flights were delayed earlier, or flight was delayed multiple times. He's supposed to be landing at 5:30-ish.
I thought it said he was leaving DC at 5:30.
Oh, was that it?
That's what I thought it said. Yeah.
He's going to be a game time decision, folks. I don't know about that one. I got to see OC, though.
Here's hoping.
I got a feeling he's not going exclusive. The other thing with AEW is if you're a full-time employee or full-time contracted wrestler, you're not what do they call them? A contractor. You're not a contractor. You're a full-time employee, and you get health insurance.
Right.
Fuck, AEW is changing the game.
Has been delayed multiple times, with the most recent update indicating that the flight will not leave until almost 5:30 p.m. tonight.
Oof. Tough. Good luck, OC.
Yep.
Hoping to see you, bud.
Lance Lance Archer versus Josh Briggs. Josh Briggs.
Lance Archer. Did you bring a poncho? I warned you.
I had a jacket.
It's gonna be raining in there.
With a hood. Sound cool.
Yeah. Fucking can't wait for this one. And it sounds like he's gonna be more involved with Beyond going forward, from what DC was saying on the old Twitter machine. That he's been a real pleasure to work with, and it's been really cool. So I can't wait to see more of him. Can't wait to see him, period. But I can't wait to see more of him. Maybe we'll get Khan up here, because Khan likes him too. Get Khan up here one day, and he'll check out Lance Archer too.
Yeah, maybe. Nick Gage versus Chris Statlander.
You're looking forward to this one.
Match.
That's the one you're.
I popped big on this one, and then it seems like the Twitterverse also did, because they hit him hard with the poll on what do you want to be the main.
He's fucking over, man.
I mean, so's she, though.
Yeah, she is. But I mean, I don't know. There's something about him, and his faithful fans are just fucking animals.
Well,
I love it.
That's what we got.
So that's the show, huh?
That's it.
I fucking love it. All right, so after the show, we'll come back and we'll recap, and we'll fill you in on the time that we had and all the fun stuff that we're doing. So in the meantime, enjoy the show. Follow along on IWTV .live. Use that promo code Thursdays. Oh fuck! I love it. Oh, inside joke. You'll never get it. Who kicked your ass on Thursday?
Canyon.
Fuck, I'm gonna use that all the time now. Thank you, Beyond. So yeah, that's great, an inside joke. So enjoy the show. Thanks for listening. Hit the like, hit the subscribe, do all that fun shit.
Hit the red button.
Yeah, Ryan's gonna hit the red button after he tells you what to do.
Do the dope shit, because that's what we just about to do right now. Bye!
Great show tonight up in Worcester. The return to Worcester for Beyond Wrestling and Uncharted Territory Season 2. Saw a fucking sully of a show. My God, I can't begin to explain. That fucking show was great. I think I hurt my shoulder banging on the ring mat. Yeah, it hurts. I'm gonna have to ice that bitch tonight. No throwing out any pitches like that at any baseball games.
No?
Nah, that wasn't gonna happen anyway.
Did you hear anything when half of a door landed in front of you?
No, it landed on me. I got hit with the door. I was in a match tonight. I was involved, and then I assisted the guy that hit me with the door to get him the win. So that's what I do. I cheat to win, Eddie. Cheat to win.
I still don't know how I feel about that.
Well, listen, Chris Statlander had a comment to her. MDK, all fucking gay. Nick Gage, him and I go way back. Cell Block D on, I don't know. I can't back that up.
Yes, gang affiliated.
No.
I forgot that.
No. My kid's gonna be a cop. I can't be putting that on tape anymore.
All right. No, he is.
Well, yeah, he can put it on tape. I ain't putting it on tape.
Right.
What a great show. Thanks to Drew Cordero and Beyond Wrestling and IndependentWrestling.tv. Just a great night all around. You want to run down any of the matches that are kind of popping out to you on the top of your mind? We had surprises. We had dark matches. We had a little bit of everything tonight. We had some plunder. We had Tony Deppen become the reigning whatchamahoozy?
The Discovery Gauntleteer.
I like Gauntleteer. I like that. Okay, he's the gauntlet holder. I guess backstage he attacked Machiavelli?
Makowski.
Illuminati. Which way am I going?
Mike Wojcicki.
I'm going that way?
Yeah.
Oh, fuck. We're all going to die.
No, we're not going to die.
Okay,
we're fine,
good.
everybody.
We're good.
Thanks for your concern.
We're good, thank you. Woo!
In lieu of flowers, donations can be sent to your favorite wrestler and mine. What jumped out at me? Wheeler Yuta and Chris Dickinson put on one hell of a match.
Yeah, we were expecting that though.
Wheeler Yuta coming in against Dickinson. I was hoping against all hope he wouldn't die.
Yeah, and he didn't die.
No.
We're going to switch lights because that's...
Okay.
Yeah, you get that back one, I'll get the front one.
Get it from the back.
There we go.
Hi, everybody.
You can see us a little better now.
And welcome.
That's us. This is our faces. In case you actually want to see them. Want to
hear a scary story?
Wheeler and Dickinson had a hell of a match. Wheeler told a great story of what we'll pull out any, we'll try to win at any cost against Dickinson. Earn Dickinson's respect at the end. But then at the end, something funny happened, Rye.
Funny, huh?
We're bouncing all around again. We were talking about Tony Deppen. We'll get back to that. Something funny happened. Club Camp came out with his cronies.
Candone, my favorite heel.
Yeah.
Richard Holiday.
Your favorite Yankee fan?
He doesn't come out to New York anymore, so he can kiss my ass.
Okay.
Casanova.
Christian Casanova.
And Cam Lamading.
Yeah, so...
New nickname?
Sure, Cam Lamading. The Dandy Daddy. Wait, no, I'm sure he doesn't want that one.
Fine and Dandy.
Fine and Dandy. He said he was doing Fine and Dandy, so Dandy Daddy doesn't really sound great for him.
Captain Dick Strings.
So he was surrounded, like a surprise saviors come to his side, wearing the same masks that EYFBO wore when they showed up at AEW at the pay-per-view. All Out. Thank you. I couldn't think of the name of the pay-per-view. They took off the masks, and it turned out it was milk chocolate. And
melts in your mouth, not in your hand.
They attack Dickinson. The lights go out. And we got the return of somebody I never thought we'd see back in Beyond Wrestling.
I agree. I think that's what we came to grips with after American Run at 60.
No, even before that. It was his last time. It was at Aurora against. No.
American Rana.
Didn't he work Aurora and then him and Tracy went really long and they never brought Pinky back? No, that was at Aurora in Providence.
I thought that was at Rana.
No.
Never mind.
So
fun with memory loss.
Take two for Rye. It's his new gimmick. He's doing this on purpose.
Yep, totally.
So Pinky Carlos Sanchez.
El Presidente.
So, a long lost member of Team Pazuzu returns. Great to have him back. Great to have Dickinson have some assistants there, have some friends back, and have somebody watching his back. Fucking great. I marked the fuck out. If you watched at home, you saw me jumping around, yelling, jumping, banging on the ring. Just super excited.
There was a lot of that.
Sanchez.
That was a big ovation. I think that we probably caught some people by surprise.
I think half the people there didn't know who he was.
But they were very loud.
Because
the ones that did were loud enough for the ones that didn't.
Yeah, I think there's two types of Beyond fans. Jeff Hardy. There's two types of Beyond fans. There's the ones that have been around for a long time, and then you have the Worcester era. Which I'm not saying the Worcester era isn't that long, but I'm talking going back to the Providence days, the shows the Rhode Island, the Fed shows and stuff like that. So Pinky was part of those. Melrose, remember Pinky? Was it Pinky versus Dickinson and Melrose?
I don't want to talk about it.
Okay, he's not talking about that.
I still have nightmares about that
one. Yikes! That was Pinky's introduction into Team Pazuzu. So go back and if you got IWTV. You can go back and find that match and watch that yourself. That was a fucking beatdown back then. But Pinky Carlos Sanchez, El Presidente, back in Beyond Wrestling, and he got a hell of a pop. So welcome back, sir, and great to have you back. Tony, let's go back to Tony Deppen real quick. Tony Deppen beat up Matt Makowski in the back. We didn't see that. I got a tweet alert after Tony Deppen came out for that match, so that's why Tony Deppen was in that match.
Yeah, he said something about it after the match, but...
Oh, did he?
Yeah,
okay.
But I couldn't hear it. There was some chatter going on.
Yeah, there was a little bit of murmurs.
But he was talking about it.
And... What else?
Well, no, I want to talk about Deppen because
I like fucking Tony Deppen. I love Tony Deppen.
Have we?
He's the guy recently from GCW.
Yeah, and I think the last 6 months or so I've heard of him. Like he's been around. At different shows I think on IWTV, but we haven't seen him here.
Right, and I think on Monday when I was watching Raw and the GCW show, I told you about Tony Deppen's springboard coffin drop to the floor.
Yeah,
and then he did it tonight, which was fucking dope.
Not Darby Allin, but it's very nice for us to know that Darby Allin's influence is alive and well and beyond.
Yeah, so I think if you watch that match, you're going to really like Tony Deppen.
I'd also like to say, Tony Deppen, mad props.
Yeah,
because when he was announced, the crowd started to chant GCW. And he was looking at the floor going, no, this is Beyond.
Yeah.
And he didn't stop them per se,
but
he
was like, no, this is Beyond's
was
house.
Acknowledging where he was.
Yeah, which is cool.
Unlike that Archer guy who, Jesus Christ.
Fucking love Lance Archer.
Yeah.
Representing New Japan Pro Wrestling.
See how I did that?
And Keith Lee, jeez. Josh Briggs.
Keith Lee. Josh Briggs.
No, Josh Briggs.
I love Keith Lee.
So,
Josh Briggs.
Fuck, what a match that was, too. Big hoss fight. Opened the show, set the tone for the night. Man, what a good show tonight. I just fucking... Whew.
So much for me and my hopes that Josh Briggs was going to, just light up everybody. in his path.
Yeah, Josh Briggs took the loss there. But I think he might get a chance to avenge that. I don't think that's the last you've seen of Lance Archer and Beyond Wrestling.
I mean, it's okay if I don't see him again.
I don't know. I fucking loved him.
I didn't say I didn't like him. I just like him from a distance. He's probably better off on my TV. If he shows up on the weeks that I don't go there, then that'd be okay. But I don't plan on not going there very often.
Right.
Case in point, I had a great time tonight. I can't say I won't be going next week.
Oh, okay. If you're going next week, I'm going next week. Okay. I'm just saying. I've got a ticket. I might as well go.
I don't know.
Did you notice that when my mom called earlier and said, "Hey, we got plans. Can we meet on Thursday about the Green Bay trip?" Yeah. And I said, "Hey, can we do it Wednesday?"
Yeah.
Did you notice I did that?
Do you know that you're also busy on Wednesday now?
Yeah, I'll be home by 8.
Right.
I'll be home by 7.
Right.
I'll go there right after work.
Welcome to Len's talking to mommy.
Oh, fuck you. Oh, wait, what was that text message you got from your mom earlier?
She said, "Say hi to the DDS squad. That's us, motherfucker. All fucking day."
Hey, so if you're in the New England area,
or you're not,
hour and a half drive, 2-hour drive. I know it's only a 2-hour show, but it's fucking worth it. Get your ass to Worcester. Get a ticket. It's $10. $10 for wrestling on a Thursday night, and that's the fucking shit you get. That show is so fucking. It's raining pretty good again. I hope this doesn't fuck up the audio.
No, it's okay. Everybody gets to get some soothing rest now. And also, it's 2 hours of wrestling with no commercials.
Oh my god!
You know how I talk about how much I hate commercials? There's none of those here.
At 9:40, I turned to Ryan and I said, "It's already 9:40. This show is so fucking good that it's like the night is flying by, and it's one of those where you don't want the night to end, but man, you don't want to leave at the end of the show. If I didn't have to work in the morning and I had a little bit more time, I would have stuck around for another hour just bullshitting with people, the wrestlers, the people in charge, and my buddy Rich Palladino. I got to talk to him real quick. He's gonna come on the podcast. We got to set something up, and that guy is a fucking historian of wrestling. He's got so much knowledge. It'd be really cool to get some of that on the podcast. So maybe one of these days before a show or after a show, we'll sit down and have a meal and just shoot the shit about wrestling, because we got to do that.
I wonder when logistically, this is inside.
Yeah.
I wonder when logistically that would be sound, because I know he has a drive and work on Thursday and Friday.
Thanksgiving.
So well, there you go.
Halloween.
Or like maybe a weekend show or something like that. I don't know. There aren't any more weekend shows coming up. Are there any WWR shows coming up?
There's nothing on the books. Nothing on the books.
Oh,
hey, you want to talk about Solo Darling?
No, I wanted to talk about Willow. But
okay, great. You just ruined the surprise for these fine
surprise,
people.
Willow!
I didn't know that Solo Darling.
Pussy Willow!
No.
What?
That's not her name.
It's a flower.
Okay.
I just saw
So.
I'm sorry, Willow Tree chicken salad's my favorite. They used to have it at Subway, but now what?
Okay.
Grocery shopping with Ryan.
Okay.
New segment.
Solo Darling match. Ended in a DQ against Smart Mark Sterling. When stupid Alex Reynolds Keaton jumped in the ring.
Sark!
Attacked her, beat her down from behind.
And he was wearing his dress
Smart Mark Sterling picked up Officer Magnum and ran out the door with him, but he was stopped by Willow Nightingale, returning from a neck injury, who we hadn't seen since before Lethal Lottery, right? It was the Lethal Lottery challenge, tournament thing, right?
Yeah, it was the Destination Uncharted Territory show at East Greenwich. That was my memory now, motherfucker.
Oh, that worked. It was
what?
Good there.
I did it.
Good there.
What?
Yeah.
What?
So, great to see Willow back, and that was a fun tag match between the two of them, the two teams, the four of them. God, just what a fun show.
5 of them. Officer Magnum.
Magnum was in on the pin, so 5 of them. Casanova opened with a dark match against the returning rapscallion, Mick
Moretti.
Mick Moretti. Love that guy.
He's dope.
Yeah, from somewhere in Australia.
Somewhere.
Listen, we're going over all this stuff. Go watch the show. I'm going to assume some people have watched the show if you're watching this. I'm also going to assume that, you've used that promo code Thursdays to get your 20 days free. Rich Palladino made an announcement that the first hour of Uncharted Territory tonight was being watched by more people that had watched American Rana back in July. That is some fucking awesome shit. Eyeballs on Beyond are exactly what we want and exactly what everybody needs, what the industry needs, because we are the tastemakers.
#tastemakers.
Beyond Wrestling is the tastemakers of pro wrestling. What you see on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays starts Thursdays on Beyond Wrestling at Uncharted Territory on independentwrestling.tv. If you want to see the stars of tomorrow today, you come to Beyond Wrestling. That is what you do.
Yeah, you do.
And like I said before, that was my flavor of ice cream. #Baskin Robbins. #Flavors of Wrestling.
Baskin Robbins. The Baskin Robbins of professional wrestling.
The Baskin Robbins era of wrestling is here. 32 different flavors. Choose one. Choose them all. Just enjoy wrestling. Wrestling is for everyone.
Yep. Even the shitty stuff.
And there was no shitty stuff tonight. Did we talk about... Let's talk about Chris Statlander, because we really just kind of glossed over that about the door and MDK.
Chris fucking Stat. Can I talk about how when we watch wrestling, there are certain things that we understand to be truths. One of which is that if somebody's going to run into the other side of the ring 2 times, when they do it the 3rd time, it's not going to work. Okay? But we still tell them to do it one more time.
Kayfabe?
No, I'm just saying these are things that we know to be true. Another thing that we know to be true is that if you are to place a door somewhere in a ring, chances are you're going to be the one going through that door. Not tonight, my friends. Not tonight. Chris Stat set that door up, and she put Nick fucking Gage through a door.
But then she set up
with the door that she set up.
But then she put set the door up, and she took a pile driver off the fucking top rope through the door.
She also did the flippy thing.
Yeah, the 450 splash
in front of us.
Yeah.
No, not that one. The back flippy thing.
Oh, the moonsault
off the apron.
Yeah. So keep an eye on my Instagram. I've been posting videos and stuff from tonight. Some pretty cool shit, if I do say so myself.
Chris fucking Stat.
I'll have some more when I get home, because I stopped halfway through the show because I noticed that I didn't have enough time to get stuff out there and tag away.
They're not going to watch it live.
No.
So it'll be up there now.
Good point. It'll be
Go
up
to
there.
his IG
magic.
now.
Magic. Boom. It's
here
there.
It is.
Look at that.
Right there. Look, here's his Instagram right here.
No, that's the drive. That's the shifter.
Right there.
It's a shifter knob in Lisa's car.
Right there.
Okay.
Up here?
Up there.
Hit the like button. Hit the subscribe button.
Good. I'm glad you're doing that, because I want to wrap this up.
Fingers. All right. Until next time.
Oh, shit. Go.
Uh-oh.
Fuck. Well, hopefully he doesn't
Lights
come out.
off, motherfucker.
Okay, hopefully we don't get pulled over. So we're going to wrap this up.
I don't think we get pulled over.
Oh, that'd be funny if we did, though. All right, we're going to wrap this up in the dark. So for the DDS squad, for Beyond Wrestling, for Uncharted Territory, for DJ RJ, and for the Enforcer Len Anderson.
That's him.
We tell you to do the dope shit.
Now?
Yeah, now.
All right.
Dope.
Do the dope shit.